Activate.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to This Pink Cloud. I am DJ Kelly Reverb. Yes. We are a show that is about multiple pathways to recovery, all kinds of mental health and that good stuff. Speaking of mental health, we have my good friend Chad LeMans in today. How are you?
Hello, I am super happy to be here. The name is Chad LeMans, and I deserve
Press
more
on.
sound effects, but I am currently a DJ producer. I am also a #1 Madonna and Tom Thumb fan. Because if there's only one thing I like more than Madonna, it's Tom Thumb.
Right.
And I enjoy them equally together.
And if you're shopping at Tom Thumb and you hear Madonna,
If you are shopping at Tom Thumb and you are hearing Madonna over the loudspeaker system, then I have one thing to tell you. You might have gone and died and gone to heaven.
anyway,
Because that is complete nirvana for everybody who ever experiences the same thing.
all right, sweet. I will be sure and edit all that out. No, but hey, I appreciate you tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Comment too, yeah, because it makes a difference, and we care. Not so much either way, really, but it's the thing to say, right?
I care.
Yeah? Do you?
Yeah, I care a lot.
All right, good. Speaking of caring, dude, our good friend who cared enough to bring us collages from Waxahachie. Is it in Waxahachie?
It's in West.
West, okay.
West
so,
of Waco.
All right. But a good friend of the show, give it up for Tony D.
Hello. I can't do that accent.
You
He's already
can't?
doing it. Right.
Yeah.
What accent are you going to do? Do one.
Oi.
Oi, mate.
Oi, I'm Nick.
Oi, I'm Nick. But no, we're excited to have you in today. Ryan was going to be on, and he couldn't because... Go ahead, say it.
He got diarrhea or something.
Well, there we go, dude. Ryan, God bless you, brother.
He was excited, though. He wanted to come.
Maybe that's why he got diarrhea.
He got nervous.
Yeah, could be.
Like a Cocker Spaniel.
Could be.
Like, hey, buddy.
Hey, guess what? You're going on the show today. You're going on. Oh, no.
Say the word diarrhea like you do.
No, you mean diarrhea.
Yeah.
No, that's not my Antonio Banderas says diarrhea. Diarrhea. Yeah.
What, did he say that in a movie?
No, I just...
In Interview with the Vampire?
Yeah, it was, it was actually Puss in Boots. He says, I have diarrhea. Right. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be that kind of episode. But no, we thought we would, first off, give the people a little bit of your backstory. I know if they want to, they can go back and watch your full episode. But, go ahead and touch on it, what you're a recovered addict and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
My name's Tony D.
Is that what I sound
I
like?
like sprinkles. I like sprinkles on my donut cakes.
On my cupcakes. I like
I
donut
like sausage and sauerkraut inside of mine.
I like donut holes, not donuts.
Well, that's my backstory. No, I'm Tony D. I have a backstory, and here it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I did all the drugs and drank and DJ'd and got recovered, and now I'm in a room with Kelly Reverb and Chad LeMans.
That's right, dude. But I mean, you had you were what, in active use from what age to what age?
I guess 12 to 33.
12 to 33, and how old are you now?
38.
So you got
He's
5
like
years. So you got 5 years in recovery. Nice, dude. Well, that's exciting.
It is.
And now you work in recovery, right?
It's surreal. Yeah.
So you work at Stages, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the lead house manager there.
Okay.
That's what's up.
And Stages is a sober living,
yes,
or what is it?
It's a transitional living with PHP and IOP programming.
Now, do you have to be trans to go there?
You can be.
Oh, nice.
It might bump you up on the list a little bit.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Chad, you're good,
All the
dude.
DEI training, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We had the training the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or non-crisis intervention training.
Oh, yeah. CPR, or CPI stuff. Crisis prevention.
Don't use that language.
Yeah.
That hurts my brain. But I thought we would bring like an episode, on a topic about, being active DJs, and then, well, that's for you. But being active DJs and, how it was, maybe partying, and then how it's different and how you can, stay away from it. I guess, we could start off by, one of the shit show stories of, because didn't you get kicked out of a gig once in your active use?
Yeah. It was before, what is that place now called? Is it called Rodeo? Over on
Elm?
Yeah, on Elm.
Right.
So it used to be Wits End, and Two Tone Drum and Bass had a weekly there. And I would go there and just, they'd have me DJ, and I would just get obliterated. And I don't even remember who I was opening.
What did obliterated look like for you?
It looked like alcohol, Xanax, and cocaine. Usually I was trying to get away from doing heroin back in Fort Worth, so I'd come out there. I'm like, all right, so this is new Thurgood Jenkins today, type shit,
right?
Yeah, and so I was like, well, as long as I'm not doing heroin, I'll be okay, and I'm just gonna go totally get bombed on
So
everything else,
Right.
I remember one time. I think I'd overdosed the night before, and I was up there, up on top of the rooftop smoking.
So when you say overdose, did you actually go to the hospital?
Did I? Yeah.
Okay, so you go to the hospital. They revived you because you were dead.
And then
then you were like,
I'm a runner.
Okay.
So
right.
I'm like, I get embarrassed. I'm like, oh, shoot, I did it again. And so I'll give them the story, win the Oscar, and then rip all the IVs out of my arm and take off.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you wet the bed, so you just
it just bleeding. I remember one time I pulled them all out, and then I see the shiny black shoes. I'm like, oh shit, that's the cops.
Right.
And so I put the white hospital blankets back on. I'm just bleeding all over these hospital blankets while I'm talking to the police.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They're like, so what happened? I'm like, I got low blood sugar, and they're like, really?
That checks out.
Yeah, that's why the Narcan brought you back, huh?
Right. Well, Narcan's always good for low blood sugar.
Turkey sandwich, some naloxone.
Right. Well, so then you I find that amazing that you had overdosed the night before, and then you go, okay, cool. I need to at least put heroin on the shelf for tonight. So I'm going to go turn to everything else. And then,
because you can't miss the show.
So go ahead and spell it out how this went down. So you were in the hospital at where? In Waco, Dallas, where?
JPS in Fort Worth.
Okay.
And then I guess the next day I was supposed to play at Two Tone. So I just, it got to where the state of shock. I just kind of pushed it back.
Right. Well, nothing shocking. Yeah.
And so I would just live in this delusion that everything's okay as long as I'm not doing this over here.
Right.
I'm fine.
Yeah. Well, so go ahead and so you did that, but you were there. You tore your IVs out, but then you saw cops were there. So,
that was a different.
That was a different.
Well, there's a couple of those.
Overdose,
yeah, there's a couple of those. Everything's so run together.
I get it. Yeah.
The first time that I overdosed, that's that's what happened. I saw the shiny shoes. I'm like, oh shit, you know, and I make up the low blood sugar story. I use that low blood sugar story a lot.
It's a good one, dude.
It never works.
Right?
They never believe me.
It's a good try, though.
I did it with the paramedics, did it with the cops.
Right.
You know, but
I did that the first time I blacked out.
Really?
Yeah, on the decks. Yeah. I got low blood sugar. Sorry about that.
I should have put that in my contract.
Yeah, right.
May blackout over the decks.
Right.
I had one time I was doing heroin, you know, a lot and was running sound. And then I also, you know, had picked drinking back up.
Chad was...
so I was running sound at a venue.
Which
venue?
It
was fantastic. It was at Hank's.
Nice.
But like, fantastic show. And then I wake up and the show's over, and I had passed out on the soundboard, and the owner was really upset. He was like, "You're lucky it fucking sounded good." So I was asleep on the fucking soundboard.
Oh my God.
Well, dude,
he said it sounded good though, so I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Well, once you have it set up, you're good. Kind of. I mean, you
kind of want to tweak stuff here.
But I love it that Chad and I met when we were at Sambuca. Right? He was running the sound. I was playing open format in between the bands. And Chad, like, you know, he was there. And I was like, oh, dude, you know, the sound did sound the best when Chad was there. And then, like, 2 weeks in, hey, where's Chad, man? He was, like, the best sound guy. Somebody found a needle, blah, 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 right? Somebody found a needle in the bathroom, and then I called. No, and then I call. I'm like, well, okay, I think I have his number, so I'm just gonna call Chad. And so I called Chad, and Chad's, of course, how did you always do it? Oh, that guy's full of shit, dude. How'd it go?
Probably him.
No, but.
No, they're fucking lying, dude. I never did that shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's
what
I
have a fucking needle on me.
Right.
That's absurd.
That's preposterous.
I can't even believe they would say something like that.
Are you crazy? You sound insane.
You sound insane right now.
I know you touched my drumstick.
But no, that was so funny. Like that, Chad did that, and then like I'm like, oh, okay, well that checks the box. And then I'm like, well, I'm gonna go. You know, we can still work on music. I mean, it's fine. And so we started working on music. Are you just going to randomly put that in?
Yep.
We're too immature for that.
But so like I go
Speak
there.
for yourself, dude. I'm mature as fuck.
We start going, start working on tracks. I'm, getting shitty drunk. And then Chad's like, if Chad's like in the bathroom over 5 minutes, then I know.
You got to check on it.
Dude, I'm like, hey, dude.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm shitting, dude. Leave me alone. I'm like, so you've been in there for an hour and a half, dude.
Right. Oh, no. It was hilarious because you can go back on YouTube and look up these old school videos. I wish we should find that old school video.
So going to make music with Kelly, Reverb, and Dallas.
No, and
they did like a little vlog about it.
No, but Chad is he's all excited, but he's still fucking faded as fuck.
Yeah.
And you can tell it. It was like, I'm going to make music kind of a big deal. Yeah. But so we would do that, and it was hilarious because I was just getting bombed, and then Chad was nodding off, and then Chad went to jail for fraud, and I went to rehab.
I went to jail for possession and a bad check.
Well, congratulations, dude.
Jesus Christ. Dude.
Way to minimize it.
Yeah. Right? Way to fucking fuck that one up.
No, it's crazy to think like unbeknownst to us, our favorite place was the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because we spent the most time there.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I don't take like hour-long showers anymore or 2-hour-long showers. But, I mean, I was just like, man, it's my happy place, man. I just like sitting in the hot steam and blah, blah, blah. I probably only sat in the shower for like 5 minutes.
Right.
And the rest of it was trying to hit. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I do. I know exactly what you
goddamn
mean.
mildew on the ceiling in new construction houses from it. You know what I'm saying? From all the water just fucking building
right.
up.
This
all right. So then, like, I mean, how does it happen? Like, so, I mean, I know how it was for me, but like, I mean, how was it for you first getting back into DJing and navigating it sober? Dude?
So oddly enough,
how long did you have away from DJing or being in the scene?
Oh my God, I don't know. Maybe a year or 8 months.
Okay.
I think the last time I played out was at Calyx and TB, and it was a two-tone. It was a two-tone show. No, I wasn't playing that night, but they caught me in the bathroom, like, shooting up, and they were like, "Bro, you got to go."
Right.
And I was like, "What? Like, this is it." I was like, "My career's ruined. Everybody's gonna know that I'm a dope fiend." You know. When that wasn't the case, but I just made it up in my head.
Sure.
You know, but that was the last time I think I was out DJing. I mean, I would play around on my turntables at home. I just, hit a speedball in the bathroom and then come back and
Right.
But other than that, I don't remember. It could have been a year and a half. It could have been longer.
Right.
That time was just so.
Well, I mean, but like after like you got sober, how long was it? Do you know about how long it was before you played your first gig?
Yeah, it was about a month or two. Like they weren't like paid gigs, but my buddy. I went to treatment with my buddy. He kind of convinced me to go. Mm-hmm. And when we got out...
Well, I remember your episode was like, you got forced to go because they weren't going to take... Your friend was there and like they didn't want you to go to rehab.
He was like, bro, you ought to come with me. And he wouldn't stop hounding me. Mm-hmm. I guess it was just, I don't know if it was codependency or what, but he was just like, on both of our parts, honestly, I was just like, well... whatever. Mm-hmm. I was like, maybe my tolerance will go down enough to where I can get loaded when I get out of here.
Right.
Like.
That's crazy that you said that. Like, I mean, because you're like, well, at least my tolerance would go down. So that'll be, that's a goal.
That's a good reason.
Yeah. That's a good enough
reason. We just need 2 more goals.
Right.
But, so. There was like a collective that I guess were doing things in Waco, and they were throwing these pool parties. Mm-hmm. And so I was going, and my friend told one of the dudes that was leading the pool party, he's like, hey, Tony DJs too.
Right.
And he was like, hey, man, you can come, but you can't play drum and bass and stuff. You play house.
Right.
And trap and stuff like that. So I did it, and they were like, bro, you're dope. Like,
right.
I was like, yeah, I usually do drum and bass. And they're like, do that. I'm like, okay.
Right.
And so I kind of just got right back into it.
Right. Now, did you find any kind of difficulty, like when you were going, because I'm sure you were so used to using substances while you were DJing, and that was part of it. I mean, what was it like? What were the challenges?
Well, we were both in Oxford. So, we had that accountability of UAs.
Right.
And then I really had a want to get my life together.
Right.
So, everybody was smoking and drinking, but they're like drinking like White Claws and Trulies. I was like, that ain't really my bag.
Right.
But I had this sheer want to do better in life. And
right.
I was mentally clear enough to realize, like, every time that I think I can just do this over here or this over here, it never works out.
It never works out
and I
quite
always
that
go
way.
back. Yeah. And so I had that mindset.
But I love one thing that you said. You had to want it. And that's what I always tell people, like, or if family members are contacting me regarding somebody that they're concerned about, is that I can't make that person want it. And then I think that was huge. It gets funnier every time you do it. So it really does, dude. Really does. But I think it's huge that you say that I mean, that person has to want it. And you probably see it, all the time, people that are just doing it to like check a box.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just going to go do this because I have to.
And sometimes I've seen that work too.
Right.
And sometimes I've seen, like, I think there's a difference between appeasing other people to get them off your back and a genuinely a sort of empathy, like I am hurting these people by doing what I'm doing.
Right.
Type shit. Like there's a difference in that. And like sometimes that empathetic approach is a good building block.
Right. It
as
can,
well,
it can work. But I mean, I'm sure you see that too, Chad. I mean, working in recovery, people that are just going there to check boxes, right?
Well, yeah, man, because like nobody, unless you've been there. That's a Jeopardy theme. Don't do that one.
We'll get flagged for that. I was trying to find the fart button.
Yeah, I know. It's right here. I'll do it for you. Okay. So when I'm working in recovery, there is some serious things that I see amongst the recovery community whenever they're trying to figure out. It's rough, dude. Like because people don't think that it's that bad because their brain's telling them it's not that bad. Right. It's just my wife just left with my daughter. You know what I mean? It's like dude, I'd overdosed, but
she's got some fucking problem.
I took one too many pills,
I mean, dude, and this was like my third time to overdose.
Yeah,
I mean,
dude, the worst was like a kid that I was that was at Phoenix House when I worked there, man, and he overdosed 6 times, and he was 15.
Jeez.
And I'm like, dude, like, and he's like, yeah, but no, I just did too many this last. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
And it's like impossible for people to see it until. Well, I mean, it could be pointed out to them by the right type of person that they actually believe. That can definitely sway somebody, but the genuine like hurt has to come out. Well, you know what I mean? For there to be any sort of change.
I do. And like that mental fog has to be raised because we're used to living this life for so long. We got to dry out a little bit and like work on a recovery to straighten out mentally and physically, if you want to say it like that. Like it wasn't really until I got hurt by somebody in active addiction that I really like felt like what these people close to me probably felt like. Yeah. Not 20 times more.
Right.
You know, and so bad that I called my mom. I had already made amends to her, but like the hurt was so bad. I was like, Mom, I just want to say I'm sorry again. Like, because now I can feel everything because I'm sober now.
Right? Yeah.
And I was like,
amazing how that works, huh?
I was like, if this is what I feel like.
Feelings?
Yeah. If this is what I feel like, this is what my mom and dad felt like.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, and I was also gonna say you were talking about a 15-year-old. The thing is like younger kids have a tendency to be bulletproof or think they're bulletproof, and that it's nothing can happen to them.
I was gonna do the fart sound. I decided to not do it.
Well, that's okay because I was throwing to you, so fart away.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Echoes.
That's all you got. That's all you got.
No, I have a theory that at some point in time, I did have an invincibility cloak that was also invisible. Right. So it was an invincibility and invisibility cloak.
Right. It was
and then once
heroin,
it fell
right?
off, once the cloak fell off, I could never find it because it was invisible. And now, I'm not invincible anymore or whatever. Well, I don't know if we can scientifically prove that.
I got a question for you. How many times? I don't know that you've ever really talked about overdosing. Have you ever?
I think the one time I tried to do it on purpose by doing enough to kill a small army of horses.
Right.
When I was in the hospital, so I know I'd get a direct hit.
Right.
And then they came in like a little later and they were like, "Hey, your blood pressure looks really good." And I'm like, "Fuck, that didn't work." And then I tried to do it one time.
Well, was this when you were
this was when I was homeless.
No, but I was going to say you were in the hospital and you had endocarditis.
No, that wasn't that time.
Okay.
I probably came close that time. But,
right.
No, then the other time was with heroin and cocaine together. And I kind of tripled the amount of cocaine I would normally do that normally scares the shit out of me. And I was sitting in front of the same Shell station I got in trouble in front of off Empire Central in 35. And
good stuff.
Once it had an IV line in because I'd left the hospital, all that stuff.
Right.
And I remember seeing like a white light and I couldn't breathe for a while.
Right.
And then I came out of it and was like, holy shit, how did I come out of that? You know what I mean?
And there was a homeless guy giving you a golden shower.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, wake up, friend.
That's my homeless guy, always peeing on people.
You sound like the guy from Family Guy.
You remember fucking Chappelle's show? He's with R. Kelly. And then he's like, R. Kelly's grandma comes in and then checks his ID to make sure it's him. And then she's like, that's my Robert. Always peeing on people. Yeah.
That's funny. But yeah, I was going to say, like, I mean, for me, when I first went back, it was weird because, everybody's like having, a beer. And I was like, I could do that, but I just didn't know where that would lead. I knew it wasn't, it wasn't heroin, but I mean, obviously for me, that could have led to vodka. That could have led to, back on.
Don't get it twisted. I'm a boozer. Too.
Right. Yeah.
It's just the heroin kind of knocked it out of the way, and it's like, hey, I'm taking over now.
Yeah. Then you can do both of them at the same time.
I did it for a while.
They work with each other very well.
Yeah. I did that for a while.
You just become the king of the party, and you beat everybody at beer pong. Yeah.
Yeah. Just walking on sunshine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
and don't it feel good?
What you were about to, you said something. You were like, well, it's not heroin. And like, let's just go back and like think about how normal people think, right?
Yeah. You mean alcoholics?
How any sane person would think. Any sane person is not going to sit there and like justify the fact. They're like, it's a joint.
Right.
At least it's not heroin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you start getting to that justification point where you're like, it's just a drink, dude. It's not like I'm doing heroin.
Right. Yeah.
If you catch yourself starting to say that kind of shit, man,
you might be an alcoholic.
you need to fucking watch out, for real.
You might be a redneck.
Normal people would never say things like that, but like us, we're like, dude, it's just.
Well, I mean,
it's just fucking.
No, but
it's
look,
just a beer. It's not like I'm smoking
it was like
crack.
When we had our friend Frank on, that was the neo-Nazi.
Yeah.
When we had him on the show, how there was just, and you've said this before,
former neo-Nazi,
but yeah, former neo-Nazi, but like how
stamped that one.
how there's just a new line here and there, and the new line keeps coming. He's like, well, I won't shoot up there, and the next thing, he's with a mirror under on his chungus. And
that's a new one.
Can I see your chungus?
And this is my son Chungus.
Chungus McGillicuddy.
Nice to meet you. The name's Anus Carlisle
Chungus
LeMans.
Anyway, real quick, let us throw to commercial. Your mom has a book out, and it's called twocalls.org. And
it's
here
called
it is.
2 Calls.
Imagine getting that phone call as a parent that your son has been hit by a car and is being life flighted.
2 hours before we got the call, Chad had called me to tell me it was the best day of his life. And then I get another call, and a stranger had found him, and they were care flighting him to a trauma unit, and that he would start praying for our family that we needed to hurry.
When you wake up on the operating table and they're like, we're going to cut off both your legs. And then I wake up and then one's gone, the other one's in an external rod system. It's just not good. The real kicker is that I've had like all of these scars all over my arms, and that's all from complications resulting from drug abuse.
I never thought about giving up on him. Never. This is my son, and I know he's going to be okay. You cannot just have help for the addict. You have to seek out professional help. The whole family has been affected.
And I just want to make that very clear to anybody who's out there listening, that if I can do this thing as much as I've been through, man, there's a lot of wiggle room for people before they get to that point where they can do it too.
You.
All right.
Anyway, that is 2 Calls, and if you go to twocalls.org, that will take you to the website where they can buy the book.
Yep.
And then also book y'all for
speaking engagements and speaking stuff. Thank you for the introduction there. Hey,
you're
guys,
welcome.
My name's
Chad.
Chad. I am here to let you guys know that me and my mother, Lil Sheila.
Lil Sheila?
Yeah, Lil Sheila.
Right.
It's no longer Sheila. It's just Lil Sheila.
Right.
She's got a blossoming rap career.
And she's got a son named Croissant.
And she has a son. She has a son named Croissant LeMans. And yeah, we go out and speak to people about stuff that has to do with the family kind of recovering, as well as the addict themselves. Speak more from the addict's perspective. She speaks more from the family's perspective. Sweet. And it's been really nice, and we get messages a lot about the book and
cool.
A bunch of cool stuff.
Nice. So, I like it.
twocalls.org.
Sweet. And then we also have some new music out, and maybe. Here it is.
I don't know. Do we?
And that song is streaming on the Spotify.
Both songs.
And on the Apple Music.
Both songs.
Both songs.
Yeah, two songs.
Both songs.
There's two songs.
Both songs.
Hey, bro, there's two songs.
Hey, man, you came back in. You said, hey, that song.
Hey, wait, hold on.
Bro, there's two songs.
Both? You mean both songs?
Hey, man. Hey, brother. I mean, there's both songs, man.
Both songs.
Hey, man, that's...
Anyway, those are streaming everywhere. Be sure if you're on Spotify, follow the podcast. But there's also a list called This is Kelly Reverb. That's got all our tracks. And, whatever. Mumbo a jumbo. But anyway, dude, so, yeah, we were talking about how it is to navigate. So did you ever find, yourself, close to wanting to use, or at least have, maybe just join in and have a White Claw?
There was one time I was in Austin. I was at, I don't know, I think it was at Wilkinson or something. It was a drum and bass DJ. And my buddy, he pulls out some foil. I'm like, oh, what is that? Some acid? He's like, oh, it's pure sassafras.
Oh, no, but if it was acid, would you have been okay with it? Probably. Is that acid?
Well,
okay, cool.
In that moment, right. I was like, I could do this, and I already have this outlook on psychedelics in recovery, but right. The second thing I thought of was I have sponsees, and I can't do that to them. Mm-hmm. I couldn't go back and, hey, got to find a new sponsor because I fucking chewed my face off on fucking pure ecstasy this weekend.
What the fuck is sassafras?
Well, that's what they make ecstasy out of.
Sounds made up.
Well, no, it's probably an internet thing, and you can get it from Canada.
I know it's derived.
I have a friend that it gets the purple stuff.
The purple stuff, like Big Mouth. No, right. But I couldn't. I don't know. I think there's something about going through a program and having a spiritual experience that it creates this entire psychic change where this is wrong,
right?
And I can't live a lie. And hey, I'm gonna guide you to, I'm gonna help you get recovered. Yeah, you start to have a conscience. And I was like, I cannot honestly sit across from somebody trying to get their life together and act like mine's together, and I just fucking partied my ass off this weekend, I have to stand true because it's not about me anymore.
Well, I mean, it says on one of the big things is to thine own self be true.
Yeah, and
so it's just if you want to lie to yourself, I mean, what the fuck's the point? I mean, to me.
Yeah. But I feel like this thing goes into remission. I have to treat my recovery, or else my addiction will flare up again.
Yeah,
you
have to be cognizant of it and work a program in order to help you maintain your sobriety.
And I almost feel like you also build a tolerance. The spirit, the thing that helped me recover yesterday will only make me sick today.
Yeah,
I need to be constantly doing more.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think Chad kind of feels the same way, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel.
How'd you
I'd
feel?
say I feel good.
Yeah.
I'd say it's on the scale like 1 to 10. I'd say I feel pretty good.
He spreads joy with his farts.
I like to.
Fart
I just
button.
like to go. What I like to do for my recovery, because I like.
Well, no, you go to a lot of
I do.
meetings, and
I
you
go to
actually
meetings.
started your own meeting.
I go to
didn't you?
meetings sometimes because I like being in a room of people who's shared in a common peril. I like meetings and stuff. 'Cause
No, but
meetings are
really,
cool.
dude.
Yeah, I do. Go to a
Snap
lot.
out of it.
Try and help people.
Yeah.
And then I did start a CA meeting.
Right.
I'm not going to talk about where it's at or anything.
Right.
But
You did that to feel self-important, right?
no, I did that because there was a
the
need
Church
for
of
it.
Chad.
There was a need for it. Yeah, if I wanted to do that, I could do that.
You come to Waco.
Yeah, I
it's
come
pretty
to Waco.
popular there.
It's easy to do.
Church of Chad.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
We'll even let you be. We won't even have sex with you until you're 18. You know what I mean?
Anyway.
Oh man, that was good.
But yeah, no, I was saying when I went back and started playing like out of town and doing the first parties, I definitely was like, I can just have a beer, man, and nobody's gonna know. But then it was just like, is it really worth it? And then I was like, yeah, and I mean, and these people were. It was in God, where was it? Ocean Springs, Missouri. So there were some lake snakes there, dude. And I was just like, I kind of used that as my because there were some people that were already chewing their face off. Yeah, exactly. Get a close up of that, Chad.
Like that.
The chewing. Yeah. So
Keep going. I'm gonna zoom it in slowly.
What?
Keep going.
What?
But they were doing that, and then I was just like, dude, I'm out. It's not even worth it to even flirt with that. So, I mean, it's not like that's where it would end up for me, but still,
When you
it
do
was
stuff
just
like that long
yeah.
enough, you end up with a carbuncle the size of Rhode Island on your gooch.
That's right.
Carbuncle.
That's right. But anyway,
Uncle Carb.
but yeah, so I didn't know, for you, Chad, was it weird going back and doing sound or because I know you would get nervous because you tinkled in your pants that one time.
All right.
he had a little squirt,
A little accident.
a little croissant
Yeah, I was
accident.
playing one time and I had to piss so bad, and I
No, he was nervous.
I was about to piss myself, and then I might have
Dirty, rotten
dribbled.
scoundrels.
I might have dribbled. You know what I mean? I might have dribbled.
Well, because it's like
And
it can
it's
be nervous.
interesting.
if you-
But it's all of that stuff. It's the same thing as anything else. Whenever you're in front of a group of people, it's like public speaking. It's like whatever. And if you just push yourself into it instead of backing away from the thing, and then you find the pocket, and once you find the pocket, you're just you're in it until you're done. You know what I mean? And even when playing that thing the other day, I had put that set together for I don't know, maybe an hour. Right? All these mix in, mix out points because I'm a quick mix like every fucking other DJ does in this goddamn town.
All right.
And then I did that and I went through my set in 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh shit. So thank God I had my other USB with me and I started playing stuff. And I was nervous because I'm like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do it. And I just started playing stuff and I was like, what the fuck? I play stuff all the time. Why would I be nervous about doing that in front of, whatever 10 people were left outside? But it's the same kind of thing. In running sound, I thought it would be kind of I don't know. I thought it would be kind of sketchy because of so many times.
Well,
I've done
what was your first time back? What was that like, and where was it?
I think I was helping my friend Bob with the
Bob Sacamano?
Dr. Bob.
No, he has a studio in his house. He's badass.
Yeah.
And I think I was helping him do something sound. Oh no, it was for the church. So no, I was not nervous doing it for the church. I was nervous if I still knew what I was doing.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it was a
and you could
Behringer
do it. You could
X32,
do
and I'm
it.
like,
Yeah.
oh my god, you know what I mean? It's fucking cakewalk working on those things. No. And I did it, and I was like, okay, cool. Then I started doing more stuff. Now, the more stuff I started doing, I was like, I don't know, but then I realized when I do that Mystic Market thingy or whatever, when they do it, it's like they sell crystals and stuff. Literally, it's just a bunch of witchy women You know what I mean? Like walking around the square all day,
Smells
and
like
I get to run
patchouli.
sound.
All
I'm down
right.
with that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm down with that.
I'm downstairs some witchcraft or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool, dude. It's cool doing these things.
No,
that
but I
used to
mean,
do when
did
I was
you
fucked
ever
up.
have like anything like where you were like, oh man, this is kind of making me want to drink, or
So there's the weirdest thing is I get that. I've gotten that a couple
I get that
times.
going to meetings.
No, I got
You're
that.
in the right place.
So my parents went out of town,
Uh-huh.
right? And I share this a lot. My
Okay.
parents went out of town and they like let me watch their house, and I'm like, that's insane. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That they let me watch their house. So I used to just do nothing but throw parties and shit. So I'm
Right.
like watching their house, taking care of the plants, and I just got done with a meeting. And I like sit down on the couch. I cooked some macaroni and cheese that was in there. I'm like, man, this is nice. And then I look over and see their liquor cabinet. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, a bottle of wine sure would be nice.
Just pour some milk
Well,
in
It's
it.
just a glass of wine.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It would
this is
go-
like 3 years in.
It
And
would
I'm
go
like,
great with my macaroni
I'm
and
like,
cheese.
dude, what the fuck, dude?
Right.
I have never once in my life been like, wow, that wine was good. No, it's fucking disgusting. Wine tastes like what I would imagine a yeast infection to taste like, and I'm not trying to have that.
Like
You know what I'm
sauerkraut.
saying? Yeah, like sauerkraut. Wine is terrible. And so I had that thought, and I had just left a meeting.
Right.
So it's just, it doesn't matter if there's a cloud in the sky. It doesn't matter if I'm irritated. It doesn't matter, whatever. It just creeps its head up sometimes, no matter how like spiritually fit or whatever I am.
Right.
But the difference is now I have a second thought. And that second thought is like, oh, my brain's trying to
Masturbate.
fucking kill me.
Right.
No, not that.
That's your third thought.
No, not that.
Right.
Probably fifth thought.
Okay.
Fifth
Cool.
thought.
Yeah, just go rub it.
Right.
Just go rub and tug. You know,
out
but
there.
no, it's it's like that second thought is like, holy shit, my brain is still trying to kill me.
Oh yeah.
Because that's like what it is for me. Like I will get fucked up again. I just need some sort of protection against it. And whatever it is that's working, I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can remember to keep doing it. As long as I have people around me that are like supportive of me doing that, and it just, and it keeps working. I do it very poorly, and it keeps working. I don't have to be fucking an expert at any of these things. The fact that I want to do it and I tried to do it seems to be much more.
Well,
than
and
enough.
then that goes back to you wanting it too.
Well, yeah,
as
dude.
well, yeah.
Once you've sat fucking, where I've sat and been where I've been, like there ain't nothing there.
Right.
Ain't nothing there.
Well, why don't you? I mean, we've got a little while. I mean, we haven't touched on your story in a while, but like, I mean, it's fascinating. Like how hard you went, dude, is harder. No, it's harder than most, dude.
I shouldn't have leaned over. Like, he saw me, he did that.
Hold on, do it one more time. There we go.
There you go. But it's crazy how hard you went. I mean, dude, this guy is in the hospital with endocarditis and shooting heroin through his port that goes directly to
You'd
his
be
heart.
surprised.
Yeah,
And
no,
how many people do that?
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Yeah.
They're like, this is the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, it's
Right.
a free
Cross
hit.
it off the bucket list.
It's a free hit.
But go ahead and just like, I mean, we've got a little while to kill, so why don't you tell your backstory a little bit? Like, I mean, talk about you being homeless.
So I was homeless.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Good job.
It was bad.
It was not. It was not good.
I sold my heroin, blah blah blah, for a while.
Dude, I mean, you had
and
a-
then
you had
once
a
I
midget-
added cocaine to it,
you had a
everything
little
I had
fri-
worked
you had a
for
little friend,
went
too.
to shit in 6 months.
He had a midget friend.
Yeah, he's dead now.
Yeah,
by the
and
way.
his name was Shorty.
Yeah. So
Wait, I knew a shorty.
Yeah?
who was a midget
it's
too,
like a deformed kind of
in West Fort
younger
Worth.
younger guy.
Oh
Older guy now.
This was
Older
this dude
guy.
was older.
Yeah, so yeah, it was rough, dude. And like anywhere I go in my active addiction, or most places in general, I can just kind of like shapeshift. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do this homeless thing. It's no big deal. So I sold my phone to my drug dealer, and I just slept in the grass that night. I was like, why would I ever need a bed if I can just sleep in the grass?
All right.
And then I couldn't figure out how to make money other than hitting up people on Facebook. So then somebody was like, dude, you have a leg. You have one leg. Why would you not stand at an
You're a
intersection?
goddamn all-star, brother.
And then I did, and I was making stupid amounts
Oh,
of
yeah,
money
you
doing
would,
that.
dude.
It
So
was
much.
absurd,
Well, no,
dude.
and he's like the thing, like he's the age where people would think, oh, he's from, he served, that kind of thing. The country, he served the country, so,
Yeah, but I never said that. I never.
No,
was
I know you never
But people
took
probably
stolen
got that
valor,
idea.
but I automatically think.
But yeah,
I see
then
a guy that
it got
age.
bad enough to where I got caught in a stolen vehicle. I didn't know it was stolen at the time. They impounded it, and it had everything of mine in it. And then I went back, and at some point, the cops were called on me like a couple weeks later because I was completely gray and I was hallucinating. And, it was my kidney and my liver had completely stopped functioning.
Right.
And were in failure. And they put me into a coma. And then when I woke up from the coma, I had no idea where I was. I had a bunch of crazy coma dreams, which were gnarly as fuck if you've ever had coma dreams.
Right.
And then when I kind of figured out where I was, I knew my drug dealer's number, so I had him drop off stuff at the hospital.
Right.
And they were like, hey, like, be careful, man, because we just cleaned this endocarditis out of your blood, and there's a line going straight into the whatever, venous cave, right? That's where the venous flytrap comes from.
Your venous Milo.
Yeah, venous myocardio pajamas, whatever. So, yeah, I shot up into it, got caught with that, shot up into it again because they didn't search me. And then I tried to sign myself out of the hospital a week later after the cops were watching my room, and they were like, no. So then I had to relearn how to walk in jail twice. And then I've had to, just 20 months in there, just 19 months with a plan every day. Like, I'm going to get out and go get high or whatever. And then 19 months in, I'm like, obviously that's not going to work. Right. And I give up. And then when I did, started doing stuff different. And I went to AA meetings just to get out of the pod.
But it took you 19 months?
It took me 19 months of removed from drugs and alcohol for me to not have a plan to
get out. Was that post-Brazos? Or?
That was just before Brazos. I went to Brazos after 20 months in jail. And then I was at Brazos for 2 months.
And he was still a piece of shit when he came out and went to...
When I went to Brazos,
when
I got out of Brazos...
shit at Brazos.
I heard. It was a comedy camp. It was a comedy camp. They do amazing things there. I will say that. But that wasn't the only reason I got kicked out. There was other stuff. Yeah. But it was 99% my fault. 99%, 100%, whatever. And but when they did, I kind of used that as spite, and I was like, "Dude, I'm gonna show those motherfuckers. Right? I'm gonna
get sober out of spite."
And I did, and like now here we are, And it was like I think that they kind of thought, either he's gonna die or he's gonna recover.
Right.
It's almost like a reverse psychology.
It absolutely worked. 100%.
And it's funny. Yeah, it's funny you say on the spite thing because, I would hear that statistic. Only 2% of people stay sober. And I'm like, well, that might be true. But, and I think it really all comes back to the desire. And if you have that desire, and, you're truly sick of your that
what
kind
of desire you got,
that
big boy?
Kind that makes you to go to thought number 3, Chad.
You got some desires, big boy.
But as long as that you have that desire not to use anymore or live that lifestyle, if you've had enough of it. But it's sad, stuff like, like Matthew Perry, dude. Like, he had just the means to keep the party going.
Yeah, I gotta be honest with you guys, dude.
Forever.
Like, why the fuck would you do ketamine in a hot tub?
Well, because you're an addict.
What I mean?
Because you're an addict.
But that's like, after a certain point, you gotta wonder, like.
Well, no, but
I'm trying to think.
Okay, but the thing is he's doing all this. He's doing all this because he's an addict and he's trying to get high to run away from something, he's feeling or whatever it is.
Well, I feel like that's the dangerous part nowadays is like, they're like, oh, do this ketamine therapy. You hear so many people in their first 30 days of sobriety that are like, oh, I just need to do some ketamine therapy. It's like the last thing you need to do is fucking add another chemical to all the chemicals.
Right. Look, but I think under a doctor's supervision, it can be helpful if you have extreme PTSD.
Absolutely, but that's like way down the line where you even know that you have that stuff.
People. It's an excuse for people to do drugs to get partying.
Let's take care of your crippling drug addiction before we unbox all this trauma. You know what I'm saying? But I see a lot of places.
Let's do it first 30 days.
Yeah, and throw you on a bunch of medicine. Like, he's showing symptoms of bipolar. It's like, he's been drinking 15 years.
Yeah.
And he just got sober. Like, he's gonna act a little. He's gonna be a little quirky.
He's gonna be a little off for a while.
Quirky, But what do we know?
We're not fucking doctors or whatever,
right? But I just thought, because like people don't understand, well, how did he do this? And because he wanted to still party. He still wanted to party.
Well, so there's a difference between
I'm not going to do this anymore.
And like alcoholism and just being
hard
having
partying.
this thing and being a hard partier, right? If you have this thing, you are no longer using to escape. You are no longer drinking to escape. You are using and drinking to overcome a craving beyond human control.
Mm-hmm.
That's what. There's a book from the 30s that talks about that. Specifically. And that's like, where you're at. But at the same time, like, I don't get in hot tubs, you know what I mean, when I'm doing dissociatives that cut off my central nervous system from my brain.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, that's kind of like a hard one to look into because of that very reason. But ketamine's like they got fucking nasal spray you can order from home.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
It's insane, dude.
We all know somebody who uses that.
It's insane.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, I was doing fucking ketamine therapy long before it was called therapy. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Atop a fucking Bonnaroo Ferris
I
wheel.
was playing the re-release of Duke Nukem with one eye open because I couldn't see the boss. Because everything was like upside down, so I had to close one eye.
No, I mean, it was a powerful thing when I did it because I had like this experience where I was no longer in here.
Yeah.
Right. Happened to be during Radiohead at Bonnaroo as well, which was like fantastic because that's kind of what sparked the whole I want to be a sound guy
flannel
thing.
shirts, mustache, IPA.
No,
little sunglasses.
No, dude, I was in a wheelchair in a K-hole in the middle of 90,000 people watching Radiohead perform, and
that's pretty awesome.
The sound was insane, and I was like, I want to know how this happens. I want to know why it happens. I want to figure all this out, and that's when I went back to college, got my degree and stuff in that, all while shooting heroin. You know what I mean? We'll deal with that after. Right. And, but that's how that all started, is because of an experience I had involving all of that stuff. Would I've had the same experience if I wasn't on all those drugs? Probably. I'd probably remember the fucking show too.
Right.
But it's insane to see like all of these new things that are happening in the world with like, oh, you can use this for this and this for this. It's never a like, hey, let's sit down and work on things. It's like, oh, dude.
Quick fix.
You got that? Here, put this patch on and then fucking suck 3 dicks. Dude, you'll feel good.
Magic pill, dude.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure thing.
Yeah, I said that out loud. That was crazy.
Anyway, but I think that was a good topic to bring. I mean, I think it was interesting to hear 3 different perspectives. But we want to thank you for coming in, and thank you for the collages.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
And Chad wants to thank you especially for the sauerkraut ones.
Yeah, don't ever fucking do that again.
I love
Well, at least you tried it.
Sauerkraut.
You tried it. You didn't like it.
You put me out of my comfort zone, dude.
There you go.
I'm going right back
pushing
into
you to
it.
be better.
Right, exactly. Are you dusty?
Hold on. Say something real quick. Look, say something to me.
What?
Yeah.
Anyway, coming up next week, I'm excited to have this gentleman on the show, Judge Roach from McKinney, and I cannot believe that you haven't been in his court ever.
I might have. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
I've been in a lot of courtrooms.
A lot of courtrooms.
Yeah, mostly Judge Judy.
A due date.
That'd be so tight if I got to meet Judge Judy because I said that. It's not going to happen, but that'd be tight if it did.
Yeah, that would be really great.
So if you guys are listening right now and you know Judge Judy, you know I want to meet her. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
Help me out.
He's had a crush
I'm
on her for a
disabled.
long time.
Help me out. I'm disabled.
There we go. Anyway, appreciate you tuning in, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And remember, kids, there is no magic pill for sobriety, because if there was, we would all take too many.
Too many.
Activate.